this Burnout Extra, we're going to talk about the time that Jay and I got stuck in the woods riding our ATVs for approximately 3 hours.
Yeah, so this was around the Alton, New Hampshire area. So Lake Winnipesaukee up there. And Tarpey and I were pretty much driving along, and we had, I don't know if we were registered or not, but we were on the roads.
We definitely weren't registered. No, because this is in, we definitely weren't registered.
Yeah.
No.
So we were on the roads, and then all of a sudden, we saw like a path steer off a dirt road, and this path was made for snowmobiles. And I know that snowmobilers hate the fact that four-wheelers ride on snowmobile paths because they tear them up. But we were like, immediately, we were like, trails. So we just jumped onto it and started riding. And I'm pretty sure we went down. And then on our way back, we found this like mound that you could go over, essentially.
It was a big hill, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
And then it like went down a path that was on some power lines or something. And the 400 Suzuki that Tarpey owns has a chain drive. Right. The 250 that I own has a U-joint drive. So he bounces over this hill and then starts going down. And for some reason, his sprocket or the chain hit either a rock or a stump or something sticking up. And it bounced it to the side. And it
knocked
also
the chain clean off. And then it got jammed under the sprocket and in between a whole bunch of stuff. It was a nightmare.
The axle going across had like a guard on it.
Yeah.
And that guard was so close to the sprocket that the chain just jammed itself in between the sprocket and the guard. And literally we were in the woods trying to put it in reverse or kick it into neutral. At one point we were both standing on the chain trying to just pop it down.
Yeah. And we're still on a hill at this point, like going like down slope. I don't think it wasn't like super steep, but it was definitely, it was going down.
Yeah, yeah. And I think what we didn't realize at first was it was just so hot. Like we were driving in heat, and where he broke down was dead middle of the sun, and there was like no trees on either side of us
at all. This was like a mid-August day, and it was like 90 degrees or maybe even hotter than that. Direct sunlight, no shade whatsoever. And we also did not plan for anything like this, so we had like one water bottle each that we already drank a bunch of. So it was pretty miserable.
So yeah, we were out there for 3 hours total, and the only tool that we had or knew of at the time was actually in my ATV, and it was a shock adjuster.
Yeah.
So you could just adjust the height of your shocks, but literally it had nothing to help with the chain.
Yeah.
And so later I was like, dude, like there's houses right down the way. Like why don't I walk down and knock on a house like a hammer or something, like maybe
we
a
can
2x4
bust it loose.
Yeah,
just do something.
I knocked on this lady's door and I went to grab the hammer.
We both went down, right?
No, I went down.
You went down first and then later. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
So I went down to get the hammer, and on my way up, he's like, "Oh, I'm still working on it." I get up there, and he gets it. You got it. Like 10 minutes after we called my dad. I don't even know if you were using the hammer, but you got it.
Yeah.
And I immediately was like, dude, it was 3 hours later, blazing hot sun. Chain literally just popped out. Yeah. We kicked the thing into reverse, rolled it down so the chain kind of got back on.
Yeah. I remember being just so dehydrated, like I was ready to pass out.
Really?
It was.
I wasn't.
Oh my god. You don't need nearly as much water as I do. You've conditioned yourself, but I drink so much water on a regular day that this was a nightmare. Like I was ready to pass out at any moment, and it was just so damn hot and so tiring, and I was so upset the entire day. It was a nightmare.
Like I said, we were on snowmobile trails. I have no idea where the trails were. I don't know where they were marked, but all I remember from that trip truly is getting stuck.
Yeah.
And all the things we tried because we were using our hands and like getting grease on us. Mm-hmm. I remember do you remember I had an extra shirt that I literally like used? Like I had an extra shirt for riding.
Yeah.
And then I just used it as like a hand grip because I was like, I don't know, I'm getting grease.
Yeah. But yeah, and then, so after we got it, we went back down to the lady, right? And then, did we ask her for water? I think...
No.
I feel like I remember, but I remember her like either offering, because didn't we tell her what happened?
She offered, but I think we were like, we're headed back
like
anyways.
We're going, okay, yeah.
And then we took the roads back.
Yeah, that was horrible. We also
But the hammer didn't help us even one.
No, it did absolutely
we went
nothing.
And returned it like 20 minutes later.
This lady had no other tools. Like, she was just some old lady. She didn't have any tools. Like, absolutely nothing. So we were like, do you maybe have a hammer?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, maybe we can do something with that. And no, we didn't. But you know what? Later on, I found out that I actually had like a little bag of tools in my ATV under the seat in like some random compartment behind the battery. I'd never seen it before. I'd never noticed. I'd only owned the ATV. Was this going into the second year that I owned it? This was
the first summer.
Yeah, this was. So I bought it that summer, right?
I think you bought it in the spring, and then late in the summer, that's when we took it up.
No, because I bought it when we were in New Hampshire.
Right.
Yeah. So that would have been early summer. So that was the same year.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
no, you know what? Then we would have been registered. Because we got registered that trip when we were in New Hampshire.
Either way, we weren't on a 4-wheeler path. So.
No. No.
But yeah, that's our story of getting stuck in the woods. Since then, it's happened a bunch of times since.
So many times. And then eventually I got a new chain so that the chain would be tighter. And then I also adjusted, like, so the rear axle, you can adjust where it sits with a couple of bolts. And so I've adjusted that so it's actually tight enough. And so I've never had another chain problem, thank God. Because we've spent probably like 10, 12 hours just
Messing with the chain.
Yeah.
The thing is, I didn't know at the time, which granted we were probably like 17 or 18 at the time, but I didn't know that chains...
I think I would have been 16 at the time.
Yeah, and I didn't know that chains stretched, believe it or not.
Yeah,
so
over time.
Yeah, over a long period of time, a chain will stretch out, and I had no idea. So I'm thinking, why would it pop off? Like, as long as you got the sizes right, like, it should stay on. And no, you give it a little bit of loose, and it's gone.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, nonetheless, that's our story of four-wheeling around Alton, New Hampshire, and God knows where we were, but that lady helped us with, or really didn't, but she offered a hammer.
She tried to help us. Yeah. We also we got lost on the way back, right?
No, we followed the car home.
No, okay.
Yeah, we just followed.
But then was it earlier that oh yeah, because your dad drove out to us, right? But I remember earlier then we were like just driving around in the woods and we didn't have any service and we were trying to figure out where we were.
No,
looking
that was,
at GPS.
No, that was up down that road that I stay on.
Okay.
Yep. If you go all the way to the end and take a left at the broken down camper.
Oh yeah.
That was in that woods.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was totally different.
We were just like in the middle of a bunch of bushes and we were just like sitting there on our phones like, where the hell are we?
We were wondering what lake we were closer to just to get home.
Yeah, that trip was not the best for ATV.
I don't see a problem. That was great.
Oh my god. All right, outro time.
But yeah, that's our story. We're sticking to it.
Just one of the many ATVing nightmares that we've had. We've had a lot.
Probably more to come too.
Yeah. If I can actually get my ATV running good. Right now I'm waiting for a battery to come in.
I don't even know if that battery's in.
I asked Jay to have his dad order me a battery like 2 weeks ago at this point.
Yeah, so he orders this battery offline, and granted, I barely know anything about batteries, but the one that came in, like if you tipped the battery upside down, like stuff would just come out. And so he was like, "It's not safe for an ATV,
especially knowing the way we drive."
It's like if you flip it, like that's battery acid that's coming out. So you ordered another one that was.
Lord knows we flip it a lot.
Yeah, I was like, Dad, you should probably get the other one.
Well, one day I'm gonna get it running good, and we're gonna be able to go ATVing again. Hope you enjoyed this fun little story time about our misery, mostly my misery, but he was there too. But yeah, thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next story time.
Tune in for the next Burnout Extra.